Welcome to another weekly edition of our StaySmart newsletter and podcast, brought to you by Viciniti Corporate Housing, where we try to keep you updated on what we see happening in corporate housing, relocation, business travel, the apartment industry, anything that we think might be relevant to you and to your company. Coming to you from my hometown here in Kansas City. It's a beautiful fall day. We have some really good information this week for you. The first article comes from the apartment industry. The U.S. Justice Department filed a motion of interest against RealPage in regards to price fixing in the apartment industry. So RealPage is a software company based in Texas. They provide software for the apartment industry, and one of the software pieces that they offer, YieldStar, is a pricing tool, a rent pricing tool, and the Justice Department is filing this in regards to price fixing and collusion between the apartment industry using the software. So it's interesting. The cases that the algorithms that they're using together are setting price fixing, setting the price, and keeping elevated rents. It is interesting because we have seen, obviously, rents are much higher the last couple of years with a lot of things. Inflation has driven up rent. But really, in the last 6, 7, 8 years, we've really seen apartment communities utilize the YieldStar software, and rents have steadily risen. And I don't know if this is a factor into that or not. It's interesting to see what the U.S. Justice Department finds out. So the next article that we have comes from the UK. Situ, a agency model service apartment corporate housing provider, acquired Rentivo, which is a tech company in the short-term rental space. They're going to use their tech stack in their operations. They're going to be able to provide to their operators property management system, channel manager. They'll give them the tools so you can have content management, pricing software. Really interesting to see more kind of acquisitions in that space, and more, obviously, investment in tech in the corporate housing segment. And then the third article is, again, kind of in the corporate housing space. SilverDoor, a UK-based global service accommodation provider, announced the release of their carbon emission tracking tool. So with this tool, you'll be able to track water usage and energy usage, so you can get a per unit CO2 number. So you'll be able to track water, electric, and gas with this. Huge need right now. We're seeing a lot of requests, a lot of RFPs, asking corporate housing providers to provide some information in regards to their CO2 usage. Viciniti Corporate Housing ourselves, we're partnering with Greenfeet to try to set our baseline for our current CO2 usage in our apartments. So it's interesting to see SilverDoor coming out with this, and we'll see how that works in the coming months. And then finally, we have some information about travel into Europe. We had reported previously this year in our newsletter, on our podcast, about this new visa requirement that U.S. travelers into Europe are going to need to utilize starting in 2024. Well, this has been delayed to 2025, possibly to mid-2025. Kind of interesting to see. It didn't seem like it was a huge ask, or it was just an online document that you fill out, a small fee you pay, but anyways, it's getting pushed back to 2025, so something that you can wait a little bit more, and we'll probably report a little bit more on this next year. So those are the articles that we have this week. If there's anything that you'd like to see us speak about, or if you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to me directly at my email address right here, or you can leave us a question or comment in the comment section here. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter or to our podcast yet, go ahead and do that. That's what I see transitioning this week. Take care, everyone.